Welcome back. Now we're going to talk about how the signs and symptoms of ADHD might impact a child in their everyday life. And this is so we can have a greater understanding and empathy, and importantly, give them support in these areas of their life where their ADHD is affecting them. But if we don't realize how it's affecting them, it's going to be hard to give them that support that they need. Okay, so let's talk about the main areas where ADHD can impact them. And I think to start off with, let's talk about academics. We're also going to talk about behavior, and we're also going to talk about social relationships. But academics is a big one that parents often talk to me about and want to help their child achieve everything that there's within their potential and take away that impediment or that impairment of that ADHD. So how might we see those problems of ADHD academically? Well, I'll give you a common situation. If you're standing, if the kid's in the classroom sitting at their desk, sort of ready to learn, and the teacher's up there and they're talking about something, they might be like, okay, everyone grab your books out, turn to page 34. Let's start from paragraph 2 and complete exercises 3, 4, and 7. Terrific. Let's get started. Okay. Grab my textbook out, I think it was this one. Now page, what was it, page again? Oh, what are you doing there? Where are you up to? And it's very easy for them with that multi-step, very easy for children with that multi-step request that we've just given them academically. They're going to find it difficult to stay focused and retain all that information and follow through on it. And it's going to be harder for them to stay concentrating on that, and they're going to be more easily distracted by something that someone else is doing. And then all of a sudden the learning that they're required to do is impaired. Another one is around social interactions and forming relationships and maintaining relationships. And this is a really important one for me as a clinician. So much of our value set as parents is around academic achievement, but as I progress more through treating more and more children with ADHD, I'm valuing those social relationships, those social reactions so much more. And so if it's impacting them in those areas, I want to give them as much help as they can. And some ways that might occur is children with ADHD are more likely to concentrate on something that they're interested in. But sometimes the social norms dictate that we listen to someone when they're telling us a story, even though we're not very interested in this. Anyone who's maintained a relationship over a long period of time with a close partner knows this. It's very important to maintain attention, even though sometimes your attention might wander. Because if someone's telling you a story that's important to them and you're distracted by what's on the TV, what's going over there, or maybe Timmy's doing this, or that looks more exciting, they're going to wander off. Either their concentration's going to wander off, or if they've got hyperactivity, they're physically going to wander off to that area. And that's going to make the other person not feel very good. Fortunately, there are a lot of strengths with ADHD. Being more spontaneous, can be more funny, creative, always on the go and doing something exciting, which can help maintain and cover up for those difficulties. But if they're having problems socially maintaining those friendships, or worse yet, being impulsive and acting out, if a friend does something that's frustrating, they act before thinking. They might react, hurt them in a way that they didn't mean to, either by saying something or physically. That can damage that relationship. And if you go through childhood and you've got all these damaged relationships, there's not many people left who you can have a close relationship with that can eat away at their self-confidence and their sense of self. And that's something that we're really important to protect in children with ADHD. The other area of their life that can affect them is around behavior, emotional regulation, impulse control. And children with ADHD often associated with behavior issues. And the reason for that is when we've got this impulsive quality with the ADHD is if we have a feeling of frustration, of anger or sadness, children with ADHD might be more likely to act out and behave based on that feeling. Might be physically, might be verbally, because at all times, we don't have ADHD, we might have an emotion of frustration, but we don't act out on it. If I'm driving down the highway, someone cuts me off on the road, most of the time, I don't wind down the window, stick my fist out and shake and say something that's inappropriate to the person in front of it. Something stops us from doing it most of the time. For children with ADHD, it's a lot harder for them to stop themselves when they have that emotion of frustration of getting cut off, or the equivalent of that. So there you can see some examples of how ADHD can impact children with their academics, socially, or with their behaviour and emotional regulation at home. Thanks everyone for watching. Dr. Daniel Payton, paediatrician.